everybody, welcome back to Zevaulia with me, Zeva. I'm going to be showing you something super cool, super interesting and fun to do in your spare time, and that is calculating your very own eco footprints. I haven't done this test either, so we're going to do a walkthrough of all the questions together. However, if there are any questions that are too private, too sensitive for me to share online with every one of you who are watching this, I'm going to be skipping it. For the record, I'm not the type of person that likes to air my private details, my private laundry online, so that ain't happening. But you will still get a general idea of what the test is like, and also I will share with you my results to see how exactly my life is eco-friendly according to this app. Okay, let's start the quiz. The first question: how often do you eat animal-based products? Well, I am an omnivore, so I do still eat animal-based products. However, the catch is that I now don't really eat them as much, so I have decreased it by a lot. I try to incorporate more vegetables in my diet, but because of various reasons, including health reasons, I still do eat animal-based products. Everybody is different, so I'm not going to, condescend anybody out there who eats more animal products than me. And I do hope that people out there who are vegan or vegetarian try not to condescend my decision.
Then that wouldn't be vegan. Typically, if you're vegan,
Yeah,
then you use all your products. I don't know why you guys are trying to tell me. Okay, those aren't vegan.
Because everybody's journey and everybody's condition is different, but the way that I do try to limit my intake is by decreasing my animal-based products intake. So thus, I will put occasionally, but more in the lower spectrum. And down here it says add details to improve accuracy. How often do you eat beef or lamb? So very, very rarely. So I would put infrequently. And then how often do you eat pork? I don't eat pork, so I put never. Then how often do you eat poultry? I do eat poultry quite often, but not so often, very often. So I would say here, just above 50%, maybe around 60. Then how often do you eat fish or shellfish? I do eat it often, so I'll put it also a little bit above 50%. But I don't eat in really big amounts, so my portions aren't actually very big. It's all about proportion. Next up, how often do you eat eggs, cheese, and or dairy? Okay, so for my cooking, whenever I cook, I do sometimes, depending on the ingredients that I need, the menu that I'm doing, I sometimes incorporate eggs and cheese, cooking, baking, and etc. For dairy, I don't really drink milk anymore, dairy milk. I have converted into soy milk. I would say often, but at the lower end. So maybe I'm gonna put it here, often, but in the 25% order. How much of the food that you eat is unprocessed, unpackaged, or locally grown? Now for locally grown, I do know that the things that I purchase in the supermarket are from Indonesia, majority, because Indonesia is an agriculture archipelago country. We have a lot of rich natural resources, and either you buy it from supermarkets or traditional markets. Majority of them are from locally grown farmers and locally grown farms. There are certain types of things that are imported, but I do purchase more locally grown stuff. For unpackaged things, it's kind of hard because, as we know, a lot of products out there are still packaged unless you go to a bulk store or a traditional market. As we know, a lot of things that we use on a daily basis, a lot of them are still packaged, whether it's packaged in a carton or packaged in some sort of a plastic. So you really need to balance that out. Unprocessed, a lot of things that I eat are unprocessed, but there are still some that are processed. But the thing that we need to take note is that when we talk about processed food, packaged food, we need to remember that the spectrum is very wide. There are things that are processed and packaged that have a low environmental destruction rate, but then there are also those that have a higher environmental destruction rate. So we can't really conclude from a simple test like this, but if I have to pick, let's just say 70%. And the 30% I do buy imported stuff, but 70% it's our local grown and unpackaged and unprocessed in its varying degrees. How much of your diet is fresh unpackaged foods? I would say quite high. I'll say 66%, just to be fair. And then how much of your diet is locally grown or produced? A lot of it is. So I would say 75. What material is your house constructed with? I would say brick concrete, I guess, majority of it. How many people live in your household? At the moment, 1. I'm all by myself. There's nothing wrong living by yourself in certain parts of your life, standing strong and facing the world on your own. Do you have electricity in your home? Obviously. I don't live in a cave. How energy efficient is your home? Now, I don't exactly know how efficient it is, but I do know my habits. Like, for example, I don't turn on the lights in places where I'm not using it, and I really do take good control and how much water I use. And also in my country, like, we also have air conditioners because it can get really humid and hot. If I don't really need it, I don't turn my AC on. I just open up the windows. And also I do purchase appliances that have lower watts. So I would say above average. What percentage of your home's electricity comes from renewable sources? So I subscribe to PLN as an Indonesian, and I do know that they do have new and renewable energy programs going on, but I'm not sure whether the electricity that I use have parts of that. So because of this, I'm not sure, but because I know that there are renewable programs and there may be some electricity that is used that are from renewable sources, even though maybe it's like a small percentage, let's just say 10%. Just because I'm not sure, okay? So that's that. But hopefully in the future, when I am more stable, hopefully I can install solar panels. And also knowing that in my country there are communities and also smaller companies that provide renewable sources of energy, specifically from solar PVs. Compared to your neighbors, how much trash do you generate? I have no idea. I guess less, because a lot of people around me, I would guess that they're not familiar yet with sustainability and eco-friendly living, unless they subscribe to my channel maybe. Who knows? I don't think so. What comes closest to your monthly new clothing, footwear and or sporting goods purchases? No, I don't purchase as much anymore. What comes closest to your annual new household furnishing purchases? I don't frequently purchase it unless I really need it, so I'll say not much. How often do you purchase new household appliances? Again, same reason like before, so I would say infrequently. And then how often do you purchase new electronics and gadgets? Infrequently. I'm not the type of person that, for example, for mobile phones, when there's a new edition with this new high-tech feature coming out, oh my god, I need to buy it. No, I'm not easily swayed by that, because I know that when you purchase a new series, in a few months time there will always be a better series. It's a never-ending process. Technology is very fast-paced in its growth and its development, and I do try to harness myself of wanting to buy new things unless my electronics and my gadgets are broken. So let's just say infrequently in the lower spectrum. How often do you purchase new books, magazines, and newspapers? Because this is out of 3 things, books, magazines, and newspapers, I'm gonna put in infrequently, even though I do buy books occasionally, but because I don't purchase the other 2, I'd say infrequently. How much do you recycle paper? So the thing is, in Indonesia, the waste management system is not perfect. Even though in my household I separate my trash between compostable and non-compostable items, etc., at the end of the day it's all going to be mixed together. But I will give myself credit for trying to separate my waste, including paper waste. So I'm going to be putting in half. How much do you recycle plastic? Again, the same reason as the paper situation, so I'm going to put half. How far do you travel by car or motorcycle each week as a driver or passenger? I have no idea. Seriously, I have no idea. I don't know, let's just put 30k each. Okay, this is like a rough estimate, I have no idea. What is the average fuel economy of the vehicles you use most often? Okay, so frequently I do use hail riding apps, especially when you live around my area. Ugh, the traffic is just horrendous. But still, you're using fuel, right? Even as a hail riding app. Let's just put the lowest, 24.9. When you travel by car, how often do you carpool? Frequently. Especially in this big city, I'm not gonna deal with the traffic. I actually have a driving license, but I hardly ever use it, if at all. And hey, I'm doing a favor here. I'm actually contributing to decreasing the amount of pollution caused per capita. How far do you travel on public transportation each week? So hail riding apps, I would say they're public transportation as well, even though it's not like a bus or a train. Again, I'll just put in the same as before. This is such a wild guess. How many hours do you fly each year? So I only go on planes whether it's for a business trip or a vacation, and I have not had a vacation for quite a while. So sad, like a vacation by plane. Let's just say that I fly domestically, because I do frequently fly domestically than internationally. Just say if I got to travel across the country maybe twice a year or once a year. Let's just say once a year. Once a year, for example, to Bali, it will be around 3 hours. Ooh, it's calculating the results. Ooh, okay, very quick. If everyone lived like you, if everyone lived like me, we would need 1.7 Earths. Okay, so how do you compare average number of Earths? Ooh, I'm actually below the average number of Earths in the US, Germany, interesting, China, and South Africa, and around the average number of Earths in Brazil, for those who have taken this test. Ooh, I'm so proud of myself. I've improved so much, I guess. Personal achievement unlocked. So by land type, I use up a lot of carbon footprints, and then second place is cropland. By consumption category, the highest is food. Obviously, I'm not surprised. And then services, and then mobility. So what an ecological footprint is a biologically productive area required to provide everything you consume. The ecological footprint can be compared to biocapacity, which is the productive area that exists on our planet, in your country or your region. So these are the solutions. I'm going to be reading the call to action. The first is visit your city's website and challenge your city leaders to support sustainability policies. About energy, can you take transit, bicycle, or walk instead of driving solo at least once a month, once a week? Something to think about. And about food, can you be a smarter shopper and reduce food waste? Can you try a new vegetarian recipe once a month, which I also like to do. I like to mix and match the things that I cook. Or once a week. You can choose the size of your family to affect our long-term footprint, support women's rights, and access to family planning. In Indonesia, there's this term called 2 children is enough. 2 anak saja cukup. What can you do at home, at work, or in your community to nurture nature? And then at the very bottom, you can add your own solution. And my solution would be watch the Zevaulia YouTube channel for more information. Come on, I'm trying to promote this channel so it can grow larger and better. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to try this test, the link is down below in the description box. I will insert it. And let me know what your results are in the comment section down below. See you in the next video.